Hi there. It's really lovely to have you here with us, and I can't wait to show you the secret to achieving Disney Learn. Are you ready to get started? Let's do it. So, I'll be doing it on a tip. These are the colors I've used. These are gel paint colors, which are very, as you can see, they're thicker than the gel polish and they're more pigmented. But there is absolutely no problem to use gel colors you have. It's easy for you as well. But try to use the ones that are more pigmented. So here we go. Just a little bit of color whenever the middle of the rose will be. And then with that too, I will apply a bit of Acrygel or polygel or anything similar you've got and just apply a little bow right there in the middle. Try not to work it too much as you will create some bubbles into the Acrygel, and then when filing it, it will give you some issues and trouble. So try to avoid that. Work it as less as possible. So with that brush, with a few little taps and liquid for removing the sticky layer or acetone or surgical spirit, whatever you've got, just tap it and then put it in the lamp for a few seconds only. You don't have to do the whole 30 seconds or 60, just a few seconds. And then with a thin brush, apply the same color as we did as a base onto that bowl. But as you can see, I don't apply it all over it. I just leave an empty space on top. And it doesn't have to be a perfect circle, quite the opposite, because then it creates a really beautiful effect. It's more natural. So after a few seconds in the UV lamp, what we do is with that tool again, I will apply the Acrygel. Just watch carefully around it, right? You don't have to do it on top, just a bit around it. And then with the brush and the liquid, I will flatten it a bit, but you want to give it a bit more conical shape, right? So you want to cover whatever you painted initially with the purple color, and then you want the Acrygel to cover a bit of the nail as well. Let's have a look now. So after a few seconds of polymerization, I'm ready to apply another color. Of course, you can use the same color or one color in few shades, whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever's easy for you as well. So here I am applying. As you can see, I'm doing the petals of the rose that way, slowly. So what I do, I try not to cover the whole purple bit I did before on the Acrygel bowl. As you can see, I go underneath like few millimeters and just create more natural shape of the petal. It doesn't have to be like too rounded or too pointy or anything. Just use your imagination, let it flow, let your hand flow. And that's it, two petals, yeah? And of course, I have to apply some of the color on the nail as well. Just a little bit to cover it. And again, we are going to repeat the same all over and over again, same steps, until we cover the whole nail. So here I am with the Acrygel, applying it around that bowl and then working it. Don't worry if it looks like too much. We'll be filing it later on. We'll be shaping it, give it a nice smooth shape. And you don't have to do it all even. It could be like a little bit here or a bit more there. That's it. Tap, tap, tap. If you feel that the brush is getting stickier and it sticks to the Acrygel, then you have to tap it again in the liquid. Just keep on dipping it and then tap, tap, tap and dip, tap, tap. Here we go. This is how it looks like now. And then, after a few seconds in the lamp, I'm going to apply the third pink petal. As you can see, I'm doing it on the other side, across the other two. See? Maybe now you have like a vision to what is going to look like the rose. And again, on the nail a little bit. Now on the other side, I will use a different color. I'll use the blue. So here we are across. Try not to cover the purple and too much of the pink under the blue. See, nothing is even, nothing is precise. I bet that after some time you find that design quite easy to do, which I'm hoping, of course, and I can't wait to see what you've done. It'll be really, really lovely because every single rose will be unique and different, as you can't, there's no way you can do exactly the same, which is actually so cool. And everybody has a different vision of it, everybody loves different colors. So yeah, if you can add something to it, that will be great. And here we are again. Apply more Acrygel. Right, we nearly covered the sides of the tip. You can actually leave that bit a bit thicker. Right. And as I said, don't worry about any excess Acrygel, as we'll be filing it later on. Right, so as you can see, whenever the Acrygel gets onto the nail, I kind of blend it nicely. Not too much, but just uh, it will be easier for you, and you don't want to create too much thickness onto the ends of the nail as well, onto the edge or to the base of the nail. So now with the blue color, two more petals. Onto the nail again. Okay, so I've showed you all the tools and materials I used for this nail art on the video. As you can see, some pictures popping up, and also in the description of the video there's a list of all the things I've used. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Right, so here I am. I decided instead of just two petals, I'll go all the way around, but you can see nothing, no perfect shapes, nothing. Right, no perfect circles. Just like that. And then you cure it in the lamp, and then just on top and at the bottom, I'm going to apply some more Acrygel, right? We can fill in the sides later whenever we want to make the whole thing even. Tap with the brush. That's it. As I said, conical. You don't want to do it too flat or too even. Just, yeah. Right. Please don't look at my nails because they're horrible. I'm a mom to be, so not allowed any nails. Horrible, horrible. But yeah, so here we are with the last color. I'm going to use that lovely mint green. I'll say again, use any color you find that you feel comfortable with. You don't have to use the exact same colors or the exact same brand. Right, so as you can see, I'm creating the petals, one on the top, one on the bottom. Just a bit there, maybe. It's up to you where exactly to put the petal and how you're gonna make it look like. And the thing is that even if you've given the petal that shape right now, later on, whenever we file the surface, it will be, whenever you file the surface, you will realize that you're actually taking off some of the petals, the top of the petals. But that's the whole point of it, because then it creates a really, really natural and different look. Yeah, you can see it even now on the video. Whenever I do the nail, the petals, their edges are nice and smooth, right? But on the picture, on your left, down at the bottom, you can see the petals. Their edges are a bit rough. They're not smooth at all. They're edgy. So this is all from filing. Right, so we do the same again. And now I will be using a white gel paint, and I'll add a little bit onto the green color just to make a different shade, a lighter one. As you can see on the nail on the left, from green, from one shade of green, it goes lighter once we go down. And another thing that I will advise you to do, use as less as possible colors. As you can see, I've used only 4, and then one I created shades. See, it's a bit lighter now. So because the more colors you use, the smaller the petals will be, and the effect won't be the same. It won't even look nice. So the whiter the petals, the less the color, the better. And now again, oh, there's some space for it. That's not really necessary, to be honest, but yeah, you can add another one over there. Let's just experiment. You will see how that one on the picture is the one that I've done a few hours ago and before I'm doing the video. So on the video it will be a completely different, although I've used the same products and the same colors and yeah, the same technique. We're nearly there, almost at the end of all that. I'm sure with a little bit more practice, you will be creating it quicker as what we're doing now. Right, so as I said before, whenever you go to the edge of the nail, right, to the point of it, try not to apply too much Acrygel because you don't want to make it too thick. You want to make it look more natural whenever you file it off later. So here we are, applying another shade of that mint green. I added a little bit more white to it. And then, right, just a little bit. And on top, there is no space for another petal, so you leave it like that. And now whenever the bottom is dry, we will add probably the last petal. Right, let's tap it a bit, as you can see. I'm not adding too much, just a little bit. Bring it down a little bit, yeah? Not too thick. Yeah, bring it a bit up. That's it. You can just make it smoother now. It doesn't have to be like a blob. Okay, and now the last petal with a little bit more white added to the color I had before. And then whenever you're ready, we're gonna have to apply a bit more Acrygel all over the whole nail to make it more smooth. Make sure that we've covered all the gaps, all the petals as well. And if you feel like adding a bit in the middle of it, you can do it now. Because right now, what I did, you will see, well, in a few minutes, whenever I file it off, you will see that I had to add a bit in the middle as well. Right, so first, now do the top, it's easier, then the bottom, and then the sides. As you can see, it's not even at all. And we really need to add some to fill in the gap, so whenever we file it, we don't file the petals themselves. And one more thing, if it happens that you file the top petals, make like few, take a little bit of the color off. Don't worry, because you can always apply it on top. Nobody will ever notice. Well, I'll be showing in a bit because it happened to me. So here I'm talking about the bubbles. Try not to work it too much because then you create a bubble. And some of the bubbles you can't pop. And whenever you finish with your design, you can see them on the nail and they're quite annoying. It doesn't give it the really good structure and look. And another thing is that if it happens that you file that bubble, then it will be filled up with dust. Sometimes you can't even clean it. So whenever you apply the top coat on top, you can see that too. So yeah, these are the things you have to avoid. But I'm sure that after, because this is actually my fourth try, and to be honest, I'm quite confident with it now. I feel really, really confident, and I can actually experiment. So it will take you a few tries, definitely. See, cover all the gaps, and then make it a bit smoother. Tap tap. Don't forget to dip in your brush in the liquid, because once it dries, it makes the Acrygel stick to the brush, and it's not easy for you then to work with it. There we go. Yeah, that looks better now. Just have a look at it. Look at every point you can to see if there's any space that you've missed so you can fill it in. After you've cured it for full 30 seconds, we can start filing it off. As you can see, don't worry about, just keep on filing and filing. Some point, just stop, have a look. If you filed it, you see, now I've took off a bit of color there, but I can always add it later on. If it's the top one, no worries at all. Right, so I use an electric file, and then at the end I use the hand file, because it's easier for me to give it a nice, really good, smooth, final shape. As you can see, I should have added a bit more in the middle, over there in the heart of the rose. So you basically can do it now. You see that they're like a bubble that I created. I will apply the top coat so you can see it better now. There. So you can actually don't be afraid to apply a bit more in the middle, and then file it off more if you have to, as long as it's nice and smooth. That's it. So here we are. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, I'm right here. And please send me what you've done. You can see, you see, when we file it off, you can actually see that it's a different shape of the petals, which is actually so cool. So yeah, I'll be waiting for your replies. Thank you.